Hello, happy Thursday. If you are in the US, happy Memorial Day weekend. My husband and kids are going to be going to the race this weekend. So a lot of people, throughout the world know about the Indianapolis 500, and we live in Indiana, and we're not too far away from the Speedway. And so my husband and kids are going. This is also my kids' last day of school. Wow. Yeah. So for us, summer begins tomorrow. And also my oldest is graduating next weekend. So yeah, it's a lot of fun time. Yay. But today is also a very great day. Today we're talking about the question that many of you have: how to lose weight, or what's the best plan to lose weight for the summer? I know a lot of you have this question. The problem, the problem with asking that question is that it's actually a very personal question, because we're all individuals with very unique bodies and with unique different experiences, and our bodies have experienced things differently, have had different types of food. We're all different and unique. And there are a few basic things that help most people with weight loss. But I mean, overall, it's going to be a unique thing for you. So grab a pen and paper if you can, and let's dive in. So one of kind of the most important things when you're starting to think about losing weight is why. Why do you want to lose weight this summer? Take the time while you're listening to answer the questions. Write them down if you can. If not, just, think about it and come up with your answer. But why do you want to lose weight? Do you want to be more confident? You want to improve your health? You want to have more energy? You want to sleep better? What is it for you personally? Knowing this will kind of give you something to kind of anchor back to, especially when you feel frustrated about something along your journey for weight loss. So it's very important to kind of be able to go back to, why am I even doing this? Because oftentimes you will ask yourself that question when you're frustrated. And if you've not answered that question, then it can be a little more difficult for you to go to that why and anchor yourself back into, yes, this is why I'm doing this. Whatever's happening that's causing the frustration in the process is just part of the process. I can get through it. I can move past this. But if you don't have a why, then you say, well, why? And then you're not open in your mind to actually finding that answer. So then it really just shuts you down and allows you to say, well, then I'm just going to go and not do whatever my goal was, not continue with this plan, go eat out with everyone and choose to just overeat because, I don't even know my why. So important to find your why. I kind of mentioned, there's secrets to successful weight loss. So what is the secret? It's you, because it's individual, right? So the thing that will work for you is what works and what you're willing to do for life. You may be saying, just tell me what to eat. I understand it's easier that way if you're able to have someone just tell you what to eat to lose weight. I can't tell you what to eat to lose weight. Only you can know what will work for you to lose weight. There are tons of diets out there, right? And you have tried them and they tell you what to eat. So you've tried those. How many of those have you tried, right? I'm sure you've tried lots of different diets that tell you what to eat. I know I did. And I'd lose some weight, right? But within like 6 months, it would all be back and more. And why is that? Because it was not something where I was choosing what to eat, choosing what I loved, deciding what was going to be part of my life and that I wanted to keep in my life. It was something someone else said, do this, and that combination will make you lose fat. Well, it often ended up being something where, it would be so restrictive that it wasn't something I would ever want to continue doing. So kind of, go back to your paper, write down how many diets have you tried that told you what to eat and how many worked for you long term. So you wouldn't be here, I'm sure, if any had actually worked for you long term. So when you outsource what to eat to someone else, then that allows you to blame them for it not working. It takes your power, your responsibility away. You don't want to do that to yourself. You want to have it so that you are choosing what to eat and then making those choices based off how you have eaten other things so that you can decide what actually works for you and what's going to continue to work for you. Okay. Now that's kind of, now let's go into our 5 steps, right? What I'm going to say, you've heard before, really. A lot of people think that it's very simple to lose weight because it is. There's very simple things you do. Now, is it hard? It can be because we've been conditioned through multiple different things, like these diets that we've had, that we've tried. We've been conditioned from childhood to eat certain ways. We've been conditioned from our schooling to have set meal times. So there's a lot of conditioning that has happened to us that actually ends up being something where we think that these things are the truth as to how or when or why we're eating, when in actuality, those things aren't true. And if we can just change how we're thinking about those things, then we can start to design a healthy plan that works for our body and ends up getting us to our natural weight. So step 1 is a positive mindset, right? The idea of understanding what you're thinking, awareness of what you're thinking about your body, about yourself, about food, about diets. That awareness of how you're thinking is key to helping you know what to do to lose weight. Or even if you really want to lose weight, or if it's just to stop feeling the pressure that you get from the outside world to be a certain way, to look a certain way, to have a certain weight, right? So that's kind of like, let's look at your mindset. And oftentimes, because of all that outside influence, we are thinking very negative things about our bodies, about ourselves, about foods or certain foods, about certain ways of eating. So write down the typical things you say about your body and about yourself. And then kind of also write down any physical symptoms that kind of make you feel, right? Are you often bloated? Do you just kind of have this heaviness feeling after you've eaten? Or do you have a lot of periods of low energy during the time? When are those? Are you always hungry, right? A lot of those physical symptoms, kind of indicate where you're eating something that isn't really agreeing with your body. And when you can start to pay attention to those, have that awareness, you can start to figure out, oh, these foods make me feel a certain way, make my body have certain symptoms. And then you can start to decide, when do I want to eat these types of foods and when do I not? Right? Because we're not ever going to say, get rid of, all of a certain food, right? I don't feel that that is right for the body to say never have carbs, or to have very, very low carbs, or to, never have fats, or to go very low fat, right? There's a combination that is right for you in which you eat the foods that are available. So we went through step 1 being the positive mindset. Step 2 is dealing with the food, right? Nourish your body with wholesome foods, proteins, fruits, vegetables, carbohydrates, good fats. For some, this is a big problem. Again, going back to the conditioning of what we were told to eat and how, that has changed through time, right? It's like if you're in your 40s like me, you went through the period of time when fat was bad. And then you went through the period of time when, you should go vegan or vegetarian and protein's bad, meat being bad, right? Eggs being bad, right? There are all kinds of things that we've gone through where we were told certain things were not healthy for us, when in actuality, all things can be part of your diet. So, and because of all this problem of now you have cravings and habits in which for a lot of us, we're eating a lot of processed foods that your body doesn't even know well how to handle. So it comes in, and then a lot of times it gets sent through the detox process in the liver instead of, being processed in other ways, like being pulled apart and separated and the glucose being used to be put into your cells, right? So it's just kind of, when it's not recognizable by your body, or your body doesn't handle it well, it will kind of have that freeze mode to figure out what to do with it. That's also like artificial sweeteners and things like that, where it's like something man-made is coming into your body, and our bodies just haven't evolved well enough to deal with those, and not then put those in as something that has to be dealt with differently. But it is okay to have whatever you want. Whatever foods you want are fine for you to have. Why? Because you're an adult. You get to make that choice. That goes back to you are responsible for yourself. The doctor's not responsible for you. Your loved ones are not responsible. You're responsible for what you're putting in your mouth. So you get to decide. And you get to decide, does this go towards and meet my goals or not when I'm putting it in my mouth? Is it what I want to use for my body? Is it going to fuel my body? Is it going to give me those symptoms that make me feel bad? Or is it something that's going to make me feel good and have energy? So you get to decide that and choose when you're going to do those things, eat those things that, make you feel good, and when you're going to eat those that make you feel not as good, but that you love to eat, right? But when we do eat those things we love to eat, that they often don't make us feel good, we often then, go into an overindulgence because we're mad at ourselves for choosing to eat something that we, think is bad, or we, do some kind of, mental berating ourselves and decide, oh, well, now I need something to make myself feel better, and then go eat something else that to make you feel better. And this is all very common. It's all very common to do that. If you do it, it's very, very common. Even I do it, right? Everyone still does it. Even someone who, is in the best shape of their life will end up overindulging at some point because they're having thoughts about what's happening with their food or their body. Or we won't stop when we're no longer hungry. We'll just eat and eat, or drink and drink. We listen to our bodies. So a lot of that is from that processed foods, to the point where we don't even get those signals anymore that tell us that we're satisfied with our food, or we're getting signals that tell us we're hungry when we're not really needing fuel for our body. But it's just based off that conditioning of I was always supposed to eat these 3 meals a day at these 3 times type of thing, right? So for step 2, for nourishing your body with wholesome foods, write down just kind of a percentage, what amounts of the food that you eat are whole minimally processed foods, right? Are you at like 80%? Are you at 40%? Do you eat out every day? Kind of estimate how often you are getting fresh, minimally processed foods and making your dinner or getting a meal that is of fresh foods that were just prepared, or if you're having processed foods. Okay, so step 3 is stay active and find joy in movement. Joy, yes. You don't need to run miles and miles and miles unless you love running. You don't need to do the 30 to 60-minute exercise videos every day unless you love them. You don't need to lift weights 5 days a week unless you want to, if you enjoy lifting weights. Exercise does not help with weight loss, right? So, I mean, it's something that people have been saying all the time. Oh, you have to eat less and move more. In actuality, the moving more helps with your whole body health. So lifting gives you muscle building and strength, right? Cardio gives you cardiovascular health. Stretching gives you flexibility. All great things for your body. All things that put stress on your body, which produce cortisol, which you don't want because you can't take and use fat when you have cortisol, right? So, a little stress is good for your body and dumps cortisol into your body, especially but when you are actually perceiving that exercise as something that's hard and that you don't want to do it, you're actually going to produce more cortisol because you're adding extra stress, right? You want the stress hormones to happen when you're lifting, when you're exercising, because that actually tells your body to increase the muscle tone, right? It tells your body, as you're breaking that down, that yes, I need to have better fitness and better ways to move. What you don't want is when you're actually thinking of it in a negative way to increase that and then end up with a more chronic stress reaction, a more chronic amount of cortisol all the time. You do want that stress on your body. Some stress is fine. Okay, so we want to find movement that you enjoy. So if you love to dance, then dance. If you love to run, then run. I like to walk. I walk usually 5 mornings of a week. I enjoy lifting. I enjoy feeling my muscles, feeling that burn of my muscles. So I lift 3 times a week, but you can, challenge yourself with body weight exercises, right? So it's just part of the movement is something that you want to be enjoying. So get your piece of paper, write down 10 things you love to do for movement. Okay. And then once you've written those 10 things, how many days a week do you do any of those 10 things that you love to do? How many days a week do you do movement exercise that you actually don't love to do? Yeah. So just think about that. It's like, and can you start to switch from the things you don't love to do to the things you do love to do so that you can enjoy your movement more? Okay, let's go into step 4. Step 4, drink water. And in this case, I'm saying no, coffee and soda does not count for this question as water, even though water's in it. If you can't just have plain water, right, then flavor your water with something like fresh fruit or herbs, especially if it's the only way that you'll drink it. Your body craves that refreshing good H2O. It aids in digestion. It supports weight loss by helping flush things out. Make sure you're getting some water in every day. How much you need is personalized. It's up to you and your body. Start with having a glass of water every day. Don't skip it because you have other beverages. Okay. And, make sure you understand when you're getting enough water. So in the morning, oftentimes you're going to have a very dark colored urine, right? But as you drink water, when you get to kind of a light pale yellow color, then that's when you're probably doing pretty good with drinking your water. However much that is for you, right? You'll have to just kind of, just track it, and you'll figure out what works for you. And it will probably change depending on what kind of things you're doing, right? Some days it may be 8 glasses of water. Some days it may be 12. Some days maybe it's 6. What are you doing? And if you're going out and you're playing outside, you're mowing the lawn in the summer, there are other things that you do where you lose water that you may need more. Okay, so write down how many times a day you drink a glass of water. So how many glasses do you drink? Or just kind of estimate based off, if you have a water bottle, how big that water bottle is. How many of those do you drink? And how many glasses would fit in that? Okay, step 5 is getting sleep. Only you know, again, how much sleep you really need. Recommended 7 to 9 hours. Some people are good with less. But it's for you to figure out, right? It's for you to kind of look at, are you waking up sluggish every morning? Then consider how much sleep you're getting. And, understanding, like, I'm in my 40s, right? So a lot of us may be in a time in which sleep is harder, or waking up multiple times is happening, right? So search for the cause, right? If it's perimenopause, menopause, right? Then kind of identify that and go and look for those resources, those things that can help you to be able to get to sleep and stay asleep, right? So you need to, one way to do that is to just be tracking it and understand what is going on, what's keeping you awake. Now, if you're eating or drinking, within 2 hours before falling asleep, it could be that is causing you to have a harder time falling asleep. Could also be a reason that you're waking up. Certain types of foods, right? A lot of concentrated foods, a lot of excess sugar and stuff, alcohol, are also reasons that you might end up with hot flashes more often, or more severe more severe hot flashes, right? So then consider, what are you eating in the day? So if you have a lot of really bad hot flashes that wake you up over and over and over again, write down what you ate the day before, and try to look at, what is there something in that, or the day before that may have caused me to be waking up over and over again. Are you drinking water right before bed? A lot of it, right? You'll want to determine when to stop drinking before you go to sleep as well. So again, write down how many hours of sleep you get, and then kind of indicate if you're energized when you wake up. And you might want to track this over like a week or so and kind of understand how many hours you got and how you felt when you woke up, to kind of look at how many hours are best for you. Okay, yes, same list that everyone tells you. You see it over and over again, right? Yet, is it working for you? Why not? Is it because you're thinking, yes, this is the same stuff that everyone's told me before, but are you paying attention to it? So kind of look at your answers, right? How many do you struggle with? Do you know if you're getting enough sleep? Do you know if you're getting enough water? Do you know how much of the food you're eating is processed, concentrated foods that your body is struggling with processing? Right? So, for me, having whole foods has kind of been a biggest struggle, because I will often eat some processed stuff, right? So I'm working on that right now, decreasing the processed foods I'm eating. A lot of times I struggled with a negative mindset about my body. Go back to number 1, the positive mindset. When I was younger, sleep was a problem. And then, of course, when I had babies, sleep was a problem, right? And now I'm starting to get to, perimenopause, menopause, where I have to figure out what's going to help me sleep, right? What is it for you? What are your struggles? Okay, now kind of, write those down. What are your struggles? Now look at your why. Why do you want to lose weight? Because, a lot of times we'll write something that is kind of defeating instead of motivating. It's like, because I'm fat, right? You'll say something about because I'm sick, because everyone else wants me to lose weight, because I'm tired of people saying mean things about you, about me, right? Why do you want to lose weight for yourself? Because you want to feel healthier, like the ones I said before, you want to feel more confident. What is it for you that is going to challenge you so that you're wanting to lose weight for yourself and not because of someone else, or what someone else in the world or what the society as a whole thinks is right? So what is right for you? So let's kind of look back at your answers and determine what you want to work on next for your health and body, and take it one step at a time, right? I gave you 5 different things. What thing would you like to work on first? Especially if you've been trying for years and years with no results. So then if you've been trying and you have no results, get help. Okay. So that is also a secret to weight loss. Weight loss is not something to do alone. All right. There are many programs out there, many programs with communities so that you can get support. And if you want support and none of those have worked for you before, then I recommend a life coach. Why? Because I'm a life coach. So what a life coach does is help you to see what's going on in your brain. So that first one, right? That mindset, that awareness. Because once you have the awareness, you can make so many just amazing discoveries and create changes that transform your life, because a lot of times we just have one of those conditioned thoughts that we believe is true that's actually not true. So really often what's happened with your weight is not about what you eat or how much you move. It's more about what's going inside your head, right? So, if you want some help with that, that's what I do. I help with breaking through the stuff that's going on in your head, so that you can start to take those 5 steps consistently, not 100% because no one does, but consistently, so that it brings you to a body you love and a life you enjoy. So if your health and weight are a concern for you right now, then get on a call with me. I'll put a link in the comments. You can get on a call. It's just a free call. We work through what you're struggling with and help you to create a plan for the summer. So let's plan your weight loss and get it done together. So you'll see that down below in one of the comments. Glad you stopped by to watch the video. I hope you have a wonderful holiday weekend. And let's go back through. We have the 5 things that I mentioned. First, I said get your why. So you understand why you want to lose weight. And then make sure you have awareness of your mindset and really kind of look at what are those things that you're thinking about yourself, your body, your food, your diet. Step 2 is nourish your body with wholesome foods. Step 3 is find joy in the movement you're doing. Step 4 is to drink water. Step 5 is to get sleep. So have a beautiful, wonderful day. Have a wonderful holiday weekend, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye.